Welcome to the regular session for Wednesday, June 26th at 5:18, whatever it is. I will call the meeting to order. Please rise and join us in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Kendall, would you please conduct a roll call?
Certainly. Mr. Castine is asked to be excused. Mr. Bazzaio?
Here.
Mr. Hall?
Here.
Mr. Henry?
Here.
Mr. Hughes?
Here.
Mr. Kretzer?
Here.
Mr. Perrier?
Here.
Mr. Randall?
Here.
Mr. Timmons?
Here.
Ms. Waldron? Here.
Legislators have received a copy of the minutes. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes. I have a motion by Legislator Bazzaio, second by Legislator Randall. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We'll now recognize only those in the audience who wish to share their thoughts and concerns with the legislature. As always, please raise your hand. If you wish to be recognized, state your name and address for the record, and in accordance with the rules of order, all speakers will be limited up to 5 minutes. Is there anybody that wishes to speak? Anyone else? Okay, one. Go ahead, 2 minutes.
Hi, this is me. Jennifer Jewett, 11109 State Route 9, Champlain, New York. Name one single government regulation that's short. You can't. The current New York State DMV manual, for instance, is 76 pages long, and you only need to be 16 years old to pass a test that determines if you comprehend the material. Then you can get behind the wheel of a vehicle that weighs a literal ton. So why are we trying to trim back a tether law to make it so short and brief that it's completely unnecessary? A 2-page regulation is considerably short compared to all the other long regulations and the government currently has in place. A tether law needs to be specific, detailed, and must include, most importantly, 2 very important parts of the law. I have determined that the 2 most important, most crucial pieces that must be included in a well-written tether law are time and temperature. If there's anything you must include in a dog tether law, it's time and temperature. Clearly, a dog shouldn't be left outside when the temperatures are extremely cold or extremely hot. It will make a difference on a dog's survival. I gave you all a copy of my draft tether law. I wrote it after months of research as well as conversations with various animal control officers throughout the state. I took multiple county laws and created my own law by combining the best from each already written law. Everything in my law is 100% necessary and does not need to be trimmed back because someone may think 2 pages is too long. It's necessary when writing a well-written tether law to list definitions, lead lengths, collar types, weather conditions, temperature restrictions, time lengths, health conditions, circumstances involving multiple dogs, dog enclosures, everything I included in my law. What we don't want is to make the same mistakes other counties already made, then to have to amend our law in 2 years and go through this hassle again. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Please give my law a chance because it's well written as any other. It is written after a lot of research. If someone else wants to put their name on the law, I don't honestly care. It's about writing a well-written tether law that we can all be proud of that will eliminate the problems we're having in Clinton County right now. This week actually marks 5 months since I first started coming to a meeting here, and I don't feel like we've accomplished a lot in 5 months. Monday, we're having the public safety meeting, and I would ask that as many of you guys please attend so you can kind of see what we've been going through in these meetings. Sunday, we're in the Rouse's Point Parade, and we have a large group of volunteers in that parade. Monday, the village of Champlain is having their public hearing to put in place their own tether law. And Osable has now approved their law, even at the state level, so it is in place. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Did I miss someone? Good. We'll now go to committee reports. I'll call upon the chairperson of each committee in alphabetical order by committee, starting with Buildings and Grounds and Legislature. Bazzaio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Buildings and Grounds Committee has not met since the last regular session. Resolutions 528 through 532 have been placed on the agenda upon the recommendation of the committee meeting of Monday, June 10th. All of these resolutions authorize engineering agreements with Architectural Engineering and Design Associates, PC, for approved American Rescue Plan Act projects. The Building and Grounds Committee meeting scheduled for Wednesday, July 10th has been canceled. End of report.
Thank you very much. Children and Family Services, Legislator Perya.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Children and Family Services Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Children and Family Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, July 2nd at 5:15. End of report.
Yes, sir, thank you. Economic Development, County Operations, Legislator Walter.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the Economic Development County Operations Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Economic Development and County Operations Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, July 17th at 3 p.m. End of report.
Thank you, ma'am. Finance, Legislator Timmons.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Finance Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, July 3rd at 5:15 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. And Health, Legislator Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Health Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, June 3rd at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you. Human Services Committee, Legislator Randall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Human Services Committee has not met since the last regular session. The committee was polled on Resolution 533, which is on the agenda. The next Human Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, July 2nd at 4:15 p.m.
Thank you very much. The Personnel Committee has not met since its last regular meeting. The next Personnel Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, July 1st at 5 p.m. And Plattsburgh International Airport, Legislator Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Plattsburgh International Airport Committee met earlier with three essential air service providers and reviewed their proposals. Chris Craig, the airport director, was also present to discuss several resolutions, including authorizing out-of-state travel and authorizing contract extension with McFarland Johnson for design, construction, observation, and administrative services for the exit lane modification system project. Mr. Craig also provided an airline antenna update. Resolutions 534 through 541 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendations. The next Plattsburgh International Airport Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, July 17th at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Public Safety, do you have that report?
On behalf of Legislator Castine, the Public Safety Committee has not met since the last regular session. The committee was polled on resolution number 542 on the agenda. The next Public Safety Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, July 1st at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Transportation, Legislator Kretzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Transportation Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Transportation Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, July 8th at 4 o'clock p.m. And that's the end of the report.
Excellent, thank you. Board of Health, liaison reports. Board of Health, Legislator Hughes.
We just had our monthly meeting, and still looking for a couple new members. And that was a big I went through a couple of safety violations we've had at some of the local establishments, and that was about the end of the meeting. It was a real quick meeting.
Very good.
Thank you.
Chamber of Commerce, Legislator Kretzer.
I've got a few updates just in regard to fishing tournaments. The 2024 fishing tournament season is off to a strong start with the first of 8 tournaments that have been completed. The first was June 15th through the 17th, and that was 150 pro anglers that competed in the MLF Tackle Warehouse Invitational for the grand prize of $115,000. This tournament also came with strong social media and TV coverage. It premiered live on MLF Now and will premiere on CBS Sports Network on November 2nd at 9 a.m. There's 7 other fishing tournaments that will also be taking place between July and August. In regards to the eclipse, Chamber commissioned analysis showed that Clinton County enjoyed approximately 50,000 visitors from all over the county and Canada for the eclipse, with a direct economic impact of $2.1 million. As far as federal advocacy, the Chamber continues to advocate for congressional funding for building rehabilitation at the airport. with Senators Schumer and Gillibrand, both having advanced the request to the next stage of consideration. The recently passed House version of the National Defense Act contains 2 provisions supportive of beta technologies, sponsored by Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, including enhanced funding availability through the Air Force's Agility Prime program. Attention now turns to the Senate. With the IAM transition at Clinton Community College, the Chamber continues to work actively on CV Tech's behalf to pursue and secure workforce training grants that will support the successful transfer of the Institute for Advanced Manufacturing. That's it.
Thank you. I might add, all 150 of those professional angler boats were ahead of me when I was trying to get gas. So that's a good, Clinton Community College, Legislator Ward. Community Service Board, Legislator Castine, he has nothing to report. Cooperative Extension, Legislator Timmons.
Yeah, I have a few things. Everybody has one of these. It's actually a 2024 Guide to Local Foods. That's handed out to the community every year. We also have a spot on our board of directors that we're looking for 1 person. We have 2 spots on our ag board that we're looking for, and 3 for the youth and family boards. Anybody that has anybody that might be interested in serving on those boards, please get a hold of me or somebody at Cornell. The fair starts July 9th, and on July 11th, we're actually going to have the 4-H building, we'll have the summer social at 6 o'clock. Please stop by and check that out. That is all I have for.
All right, very good, thank you. Discipline review, nothing. Grievance, nothing. Intercounty, Legislator Randall and North Walters.
Don't be right to begin, tomorrow's the day, so
Yeah,
if you're
okay.
available, please show up. I'm looking forward to Cook County hosting that. On the agenda, other than the going to minors and going through the agriculture and as well as some of the activities there, we will be hosting the county meeting here. Resolution opposing Senate Bill S-4545 and Assembly Bill A-3069 will be closed to consolidate one of my individual industrial development agency. So that's what's on the agenda after.
Very good, thank you. Please, I think you know, Kevin, but I'll be out of town tomorrow, so I won't be able to attend it. You knew that, right?
Yeah, I will explain
Okay.
that.
Please send my apologies, but
I will.
I can't not be there. Nothing. LCLG, Regional Planning Board, Legislator Peter Scrutzer. Soil and Water, Legislator Pizzaio and Tennis.
They were happy to report that in the last couple of weeks, they had very successful tire collections, filling both tractor trailers completely full to the back, and basically they were pushing them down to get them in there. And that the actual cost to have them recycled went down because they chose a different recycling and a different outfit. So they saved money from last year and collected more tires. So I guess that's a win-win.
It is.
And a report.
Okay, Supreme Court Library, while you're at it. You don't have anything on that, right?
No?
Okay. Wait, that's not yours. Is it? Okay. And Workforce Development Board, Legislator. Very good. Staff members, Ms. Gallagher, do you have anything?
No report, thank you.
No report yet.
You neither, holy smoke. Resolutions. It's like you were running this one. Before voting on the resolutions, I want to note that the majority of the resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committees, and the legislature is taking action tonight based primarily, in large part, on the recommendation of those committees. Ms. Gimble, would you please read the titles of the resolutions to be acted upon?
Resolution 528, authorizing contract with Architectural and Engineering Design Associates, PC, for the parking lot seal and stripping project, buildings and grounds.
Motion, legislator. Oh, excuse me.
Stripping.
Motion, legislator Pizzaio. Second, legislator Randall. Any discussion?
Totally embarrassed.
You know, I looked these over today. I just wanted to know how come the same company got all these contracts out? Are they the only ones that did, or?
Yeah.
They're
Nobody actually got the work. This is the architectural company that writes the bids and puts them out. So they're going out to bid.
Okay, so this is the only architectural company that?
That's who we have,
Pretty much the local one
that's who we have for our engineering.
Wait, there's numerous ones that work for the county, but this particular company does stuff like buildings and grounds architectural. The other ones do airports and
CNS, B&L,
Right.
Wendell, work with all of them.
Oh, I was just asking why
Yeah,
this
that's
company
fine.
got them all.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 529, authorizing contract with Architectural and Engineering Design Associates, PC, for the Emergency Services Boiler Improvement Project, Buildings and Grounds.
Motion, legislator Bazile, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 530, authorizing contract with Architectural and Engineering Design Associates, PC, for the Surrogate Building Exterior Improvements Projects, Buildings and Grounds.
Motion, legislator Bazile, second, legislator Randall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 531, authorizing contract with Architectural and Engineering Design Associates, PC, for the Old Courthouse Window Replacement Projects, Buildings and Grounds.
Motion, legislator Bazile, second, legislator Timmons. Roll call. Oh, discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 532, authorizing contract with Architectural and Engineering Design Associates, PC, for the Office of Mental Health and Addiction Services Exterior Painting Project, Buildings and Grounds.
Motion, legislator Bazile, second, legislator Randall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 533, amending resolution number 918 dated December 13, 2023, titled Authorizing the 4-Year Plan and Accepting Annual Implementation Plan, Office of the Aging.
Motion, legislator Randall, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 534, amending resolution number 211 dated March 13, 2024, titled Authorizing Various Contracts for the Year 2024 at Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Buriak. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 535, authorizing out-of-state travel, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 536, authorizing contract extension with McFarland Johnson Incorporated for design, construction, observation, and administrative services for the Exit Lane Modification System Project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Walden. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 537, authorizing contract extension with McFarland Johnson Incorporated for design, construction, and administration and observation services for the spray foam insulation installation project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Buriak. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 538, authorizing contracts for the year 2024 at Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 539, authorizing contract amendment with Overhead Door Company of Plattsburgh, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Timmons. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Discussion, excuse me, again. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 540, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning improvements project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 541, authorizing the adoption of the Plattsburgh International Airport Title VI Plan, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 542, authorizing contract with Health Direct Pharmacy, Kitty Drugs Incorporated Services, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 543, authorizing the county treasurer to adjust appropriation and corresponding revenue for the various Office of the Aging grants. Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 544, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the health insurance information counseling and assistance program grant, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Randall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 545, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Caregivers Resource Center grant, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Randall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 546, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Wellness and Nutrition Program Grant, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Randall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 547, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the AAA Transportation Program Grant, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Randall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 548, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Unmet Needs Grant, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Randall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 549, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Child Advocacy Center, District Attorney's Office, Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 550, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the 2023 Operation Stone Garden Grant, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 551, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Shelter Plus Care Program, Social Services.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 552, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Daycare Registration Grant Program, Social Services.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried. Yeah. We're gonna have Molly in on this one
The next two
for
resolutions.
the discussion part.
Just let her in first. Hi, Molly, we're just gonna read the resolutions.
Oh, you guys move fast.
Yeah.
Hey, we know what we're doing here.
I'll take a lesson from the legislature, guys. Well, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. I am at a meeting in Lake Placid this evening. What you have before you?
Hold on a second, Molly. Hold on, we'll get to you in just a second. When we get to the discussion part.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Go ahead.
Resolution 553, authorizing a host community agreement in lieu of pilot payments to affected tax jurisdictions, Saranac Power Partners LP, Legislature.
Motion, legislator Waldron. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Go ahead, ma'am.
Sorry. I'm always a step ahead, unfortunately. So, these two, this resolution and the one you're gonna have next, I'm just gonna give a brief synopsis of, because it applies to both. So recently, the IDA, and I'm here tonight as the IDA director, not as the economic development director, but the IDA has tried to do its due diligence in reaching out to all the taxing jurisdictions, county, municipalities and school districts to see how we can be better stewards in our community and make sure that we're not having a negative impact on those impacted jurisdictions to make sure that the things that we are doing is having a positive impact. So recently we met with all this, we invited all the school districts, we met with a majority of them last week to talk about how the pilots that we put through can have a better impact on them. Because when they do a pilot right now, it impacts their tax cap negatively. So there are times when, you know, like the Chippy project, for example, which is, I mean, all wonderful projects, but there are better ways to do it so that they don't have to kind of suffer consequences because they're getting this pilot money. So the better way to do that is to initiate a host community agreement. So they'll be getting the same amount of money from the company, but it will be outside of the pilot. Traditionally, the county has done the pilot billing, and all of the pilot money gets dispersed to the county, and the county disperses that money to the impacted jurisdictions. It will remain the same for, generally speaking, the towns, and it will remain the same for the county. But in these instances, and probably going forward, so you're gonna see a lot more of these, the school districts will prefer that they do this in a host community agreement so that they don't get impacted by the tax cap, and then everybody still gets the same amount of money. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Any questions?
Like, how does it impact their tax cap? It lowers it?
This is a very complicated question.
Can I try a simple
I will try and give you the briefest answer I can, and maybe even Jackie
Molly?
can chime in if.
Molly,
Yes,
hold on,
sorry.
just hold on one second. Jackie's going to interject just
Yeah.
before you
Go,
start.
I would say, maybe Jackie can interject. Excellent.
So if the school district is getting money under a pilot, the value of that project is going into their tax cap. If they are getting host community agreement money, the value of that project does not go into their tax cap. So the Schluter project going forward is, I believe, going to be a $50 million addition to the tax roll. And they would not, that would say, you know, that it's basically, it's better under the tax cap because it doesn't count when they're not getting taxes if they have a host community agreement. Right?
Anything to add on that, Molly?
Nothing.
Patty?
Yeah, I just want to know, would there be any opposition from anybody out there? Because like, we're just getting this and hearing about it tonight. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as we have to protect our constituents as well, so we just want to make sure before we vote on this that there's no negatives out there or effect.
Of course. It impacts your residents in no way. The money is the same. It's just being, the check is being cut directly to the school district rather than to the county and then on to the taxing jurisdictions. In fact, it will benefit your residents because it won't impact their tax cap, and then there's nothing the school district has to do to try and recoup that loss. So it's actually a benefit to the residents of Clinton County to do it this way.
Right, and I think one of the added problems for the school districts, other than money and the tax cap problem, is for them to exceed the tax cap, do they have to get a supermajority?
60% of the voters need to approve.
Which makes that much harder for them to overcome.
Correct. And Patty, to your point, we apologize that this is coming to your attention now. Those applications just came before the IDA a few months ago, and we have a process in the IDA, and then once the resolutions are accepted by the IDA, then the taxing jurisdictions have to pass resolutions. Traditionally speaking, now that we know this process, this will happen earlier and you'll get more notice. These were time sensitive, and because we just had the conversation with the school districts a few weeks ago, we wanted to make sure that we got these in place and we didn't want to hold up the projects or the benefits because of having to wait till the next legislative session. So going forward, and like I said, you will probably see these on every project that the IDA does now, but going forward, you will have more notice than just getting a general resolution to general meeting. So we do apologize for that, but I can tell you it's a benefit for your residents.
Legislator Rosado.
Who negotiates the amount? Does the school district negotiate with them, or it's pre-negotiated and the school district just has to accept whatever someone's negotiated for them?
So a pilot payment is negotiated based on the uniform tax exemption policy that the IDA has created. We do that based on a 3-category level, and it's based on a lot of things, but generally speaking, the size of the project, how many jobs they're creating, workforce development. We have a scoring model that defines what the pilot payments would end up being. And those pilot payments are based on what are they paying now to what are the benefits that we're getting. And then that's compared to and contrasted to the amount that they would be appraised at if the project had no tax benefits. So if they just went on the tax rolls tomorrow. So that's how it's negotiated. If it were not in uniformity, which Sarah Power Partners is not because it's an energy project, with our uniform tax exemption policy, they would put forth a pilot deviation notice. So their pilot is a little different because it's an energy project, right? They're not necessarily creating jobs directly, but they do them. They send the energy to GP and to Pactiv, so that has a job impact, right? But it's technically a deviation from our policy. So it's negotiated by the IDA, but the standard is generally, the school district gets their normal cut of what they get when it comes to taxes. So it's around 60%.
So they're getting the same amount they'd get if we did have a normal pilot program, except we're giving it to them in a
Yeah, well, right. And so the way that IDA is working this is that yes, when the projects are coming to us, we're saying, have you spoken to the school district? They would prefer a host community agreement. There's no formal process for this, but our preference as a board is to write those host community agreements that you will pay the same amount under a pilot as you would in this host community agreement. Really the goal is to make sure our school districts are getting the same amount of money that they were, but it's not having a negative impact on them, which it was before.
Makes sense. Any other questions, further discussion?
Molly, I just want to confirm too, the town and the school district have to pass a similar resolution, right?
They do indeed, yes.
Yes, and just in follow-up, Molly did reach out to me as the attorney for Perusa Central School District about 3 months ago. And so we've been discussing this change with the business office, the superintendent, the Board of Education, and they will be passing a resolution at their reorganizational / regular meeting the second Tuesday in July. And they're happy about it.
Right, and Jackie's referring to your next resolution, which is the Schluter project, and this one is the Saranac Power Partners, who Brendan Owens and I have been in conversations about that one.
Okay. No further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The next one's the same, I assume it's all the same argument.
All the same, it's a little bit longer because it's the difference, just so you're aware, the difference between the two is Saranac Power Partners is an amended pilot because they already had a pilot in place and the IDA voted to extend it for 5 years. Schluter is a new project, so there's more language that's involved there.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Resolution 554, authorizing a host community agreement in lieu of pilot payments to affected tax jurisdictions, Schluter Systems LP Legislature.
Motion, Legislator Waldron. Second, Legislator Verrier. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Molly.
Thanks, Molly.
Thank you, Molly.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for letting me zoom in. Have a good evening.
As well. We don't have 13.2, right? We don't have anything further to come before the legislature. We're not in executive session. Therefore, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Motion, Legislator Hughes. Congratulations, by the way. Second, Legislator Kretzker. Man, this is a long day. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
What are you wearing tomorrow?
So good.
What's on your mind, Kim?
I won't let out.
Thank you.
Here's Baldwin.
I got it, actually, Aaron.
Okay. There's the, here, let me give you these.
Nate was chosen to go to
That.
wrestling.
Do I, no, I don't need that.
Rachel.
Are you driving back home now?
I think I signed all of these. Do I want to do what?
Are you driving back down here, or are you staying home?
Daylight the whole way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she will.
Is that, who's taking care of Calvin's?
Oh, did anybody turn off Calvin's thing?
Hey, Wendell.
Wendell.
The brick project moving along.
Wendell, Calvin's thing?
I'd do it. I guarantee I'd break it.
Almost got fired, Wendell.